And you could translate, and then it can caption.
That sounds like more stuff that I'm gonna have to talk in public.
That's true. All right, guys. So again, I'm so excited for this meeting. As you guys know from the last, I guess I can just say the last meeting.
Yeah.
From the last meeting, Lorraine is going to present on some easy ways to capture amazing content for your social media. This one will be recorded. So if you do have any questions, well, please ask your questions. But if you think that someone else who is unable to make it today could use this, then make sure that they see the replay in YouTube, because we were going to post this on our YouTube. There's Tammy. There's Scotty. Oh, there's my team.
Sorry, I've been trying to log on for 10 minutes. Nobody knows the
man.
Wi-Fi password, so I have to use April's phone.
Oh, that's right. You're in the Hammered Harry Saginaw.
Yeah, my schedule got a little pushed back because the fingers crossed general manager is running a little bit behind. So I'm trying to be patient.
Okay,
Yes.
he'll make it. He'll make it. And if April wants to join too, I mean, this goes for any location. So, again, if you guys want to do a quick, shout out, join this, send the link to a friend, fellow colleague, etc. Please feel free, because I think everybody can use this information and help to make our location successful and fun and all of that stuff. So I'm hoping I talked long enough to get the jitters out of Lorraine so she can present her presentation. Did I do it long enough?
Sure.
All right, guys. So if you don't know Lorraine, and by now everybody should know Lorraine, but for those of you who are perhaps looking at us on YouTube because you weren't able to join us today and you haven't met Lorraine, let me please introduce you to our social media content maven, our social media creator for Go Best, Miss Lorraine London. All right, I'm out of here. Take it away.
Bye. Don't leave me. All right, I'm just going to float my way on over. Please, no one turn me into a meme. I'm already sweating enough as it is. Okay, hi, everyone. I'm here to go over content creation. Let's go over to the next one real quick. So today's agenda, we're going to be doing an overview of everything, as well as our starting point. So where to begin when it comes to content creation, brainstorming, equipment, shooting tips, editing. I do have a question portion. So if I go through everything and you haven't heard anything that relates to what you specifically needed an answer to, we can go over that there. And then of course, homework, because why not have a meeting with homework, right? Next. So overview. Welcome to the world of content creation. Here you will learn how easy it is to create content for your business, from the tools to the ideas. We will go over all the questions you may have in regards to content creation. Phone content is just as important as professional content. I know a lot of people know me as more of the professional content creator, but I also do phone content, and that's actually how I started. So I'm going to give you all of the tips and tricks that I learned along the years so that you guys can do that in your home venues and be able to create beautiful content for us. On to the next. So the process, this is your starting point. Before you start creating any type of content, there is a process. So we start off with brainstorming an idea, whether it's your whole team coming up with something, or maybe someone sending you an example. That's the brainstorm portion of it. And then we move on to actually preparing for the shoot, what equipment you'll need, what days you'll be shooting, how long it'll take, who's going to be shooting, etc. Shooting, obviously, the main, meat and potatoes. Editing is a little bit harder, and we won't go super in depth in it today, but we will touch on it. And then obviously posting, sending all of your content over to Uli so that she can post it and everyone can see it. All right, so brainstorming. The success of your content's ROI depends on understanding who you're trying to reach. While not every piece of content needs to be complex, it's essential to create content that not only captures the attention, but also drives people to engage with your business. So think about who you are creating the content for, right? Who is it that you're trying to reach with that content? Are you trying to reach existing clients or customers? Are you trying to reach prospective customers or clients? Is it maybe the in-betweeners, the ones that, have thought about coming in, but weren't fully sure, or maybe came in once, but not sure about coming back again? They're kind of in between that. And then lastly, news. This is everything from, newsworthy articles like Nick is always awesome about, and also anything that has to do with your community. Maybe you're doing some charitable work like Miss Holly did in Kalamazoo with, all of her beautiful ladies. So stuff like that. Who is it that you're trying to target? What is it that you're trying to showcase in your content? Next, we have equipment. So you may think you need a lot, but the fact is depending on where you are shooting and the lighting is what you'll need, essentially. You'll be surprised with how little you need. Oh, not the dog, just the phone. Just the phone. This guy right here. Wait, I need some lighting on it. There you go. These beautiful little lenses right here on your phone, your handy dandy phone. This is all you'll need, I promise. Now, when we're talking about equipment, we are starting with the number one, which is your camera phone, whether it's an iPhone or one of the Android phones. Oh, hi, Reggie. So yeah, as long as you have a phone that's within the last couple of years, your camera is probably just as good, if not better, than some DSLR or mirrorless cameras. So definitely take advantage of what you have in your pocket all the time. The next thing is phone lights. Your phone itself has a phone light. If I turn this on, my phone camera actually died as far as the light portion, so I have to use my Snapchat. Oh, that's weird. Sorry. So if I turn on my Snapchat and let's say I wanted to take a selfie, I don't know if you could tell, see how this screen is nice and white? That's actually the internal light. If I turn the back camera on, bam, flash. So easy. So you have a phone light literally attached to your phone. Let's say we're in a space where you need a little extra light. Uli, would you mind going into my backpack over there? There's a little square white light over there. I should have brought it. This is why step number 2 is really important. Prepare for the shoot. You don't want to show up to your shoot and not have what you need. Yeah, thank you. So this is probably the more expensive version of a portable or travel-friendly phone light, but they actually do have a more economical version that you can find on Amazon. They're probably anywhere between $15 to $25, depending on what it is that you're looking for. And a lot of them actually have like a little clippy thing that you can clip on top of your phone. So now when you're taking your photos, well, you can't tell, but I swear to God, it's turned on. So now it's nice and bright, and your people have some beautiful light so that they look so flawless. Okay, next we have a tripod. I'm so sorry. Okay, so next we have our tripods. Now, the reason for this, you might not actually think is super beneficial, but let's say you are coming in to shoot some content and it's a one-person content, or perhaps maybe it's a piece of content where the placement of your subject has to stay in the same spot at all times. This one's actually a monopod, meaning it's just one stick versus the three pods, which would be similar to this guy. We're losing some of the black on the tripod, but you get the point. So both are really well. One you can find actually you can find both of them on Amazon. One's a little bit more expensive, so this is actually 1, 2, and 3 different pieces that I Frankenstein together. But I do use this with more of my professional grade content. However, this little guy up here has an attachment where I actually just clip, whether it's my phone or my camera, I can just clip it right on top and it's ready to go. But like I was saying, if you're shooting specific content, if I need to have it in the same exact place, so if I'm here, I'm doing my little video or photo and I need to have it in the exact same spot, there you go. This little guy right here, I'm hoping it doesn't disappear. This is actually the phone clip, so you put your phone right in here. My phone's a little too fat for it. Ooh, there we go. Ta-da! Kind of can see it a little bit. It's kind of fading out. There we go. So you just put your phone on here. Now, I will say that when you're buying these phone clips, you have the ability to buy these standard ones. However, if your tripod doesn't do what this one does, which is it actually goes vertical or horizontal, you will be stuck only shooting in this horizontal format. So you want to make sure that if you're buying this part, it could either do the 180, 360, so you can rotate it over to its side, or have the tripod that does the rotating for you. So those are the little tips that I always recommend that people take into consideration. A lot of the social media content is going to be vertical. So you want to make sure that when you are shooting your content, it's going to be like this versus like this. So those little clips are very helpful. You just want to make sure that you're choosing the right one. And if you have any questions as far as like, is this one going to work for what I need versus the other one, feel free to send me a message or email with the link so I can look it over and verify whether it works or it doesn't. But yeah, that's tripods. You wouldn't think that you need it, but trust me, they come in handy a lot, whether it's for your phone, whether it's for putting lights on it, they really come in handy. So I definitely recommend it. Otherwise, you're stuck kind of propping your phone somewhere, which it can work for now, but depending on the style of content that you're trying to do, you might want to consider the tripod. Now, a little bit of extras is your backgrounds, backdrops, which is what I have here. This is actually a green screen. Green screens are great to have because, as you can tell, I can change my background. So you can create all types of fun content with whatever background you want if you have a green screen. And someone as creative as Karen who can add stuff onto the green screen. Or maybe we can have Karen do a presentation so she can show us. Anyways, so this is an option. The other option is just keeping a clear space. And there's actually a different section later on where I'll touch base on that a little bit more. But backgrounds are something to consider. It's not a necessity. You don't have to do it. A lot of the venues do have those step and repeat backdrops, the ones that say like Hustler all over, Deja Vu all over. So those would also be really good places to shoot your content. It has all of the logos on it, so you don't even have to worry about branding, and just make sure that the poses are cute. Next, we have lights and more lights. So you can't see them right now, but I have about 3 different lights in this room at the moment that is giving me some yellowish glow. Having additional lights will definitely help as far as properly lighting your content. I will also go more in depth on this when we do more examples on how to shoot it with lighting. That's a whole subject in itself. But the more lighting that you have that you can maneuver, or even shooting in locations that have favorable lighting, is going to be optimal to producing proper content. And the last one I have is outfits, props, and branding. This one's also a really big one. Everything that you are shooting always is going to have a purpose, and the way that you present it is going to kind of dictate where your content is going to go, who's going to like it more, who's going to be interested in it more. So having the outfits that maybe have the logos on it, or an item that you're trying to promote, which would be more of like a prop, but still very much branding. Those are little things that you want to consider when you are creating content. It could be as subtle as having just something lightly in the background, but trust me, it'll do a little bit of a difference. Next. All right, so shooting tips. This is my bread and butter. I love this part. This is my favorite part of creating content, is just getting down there and shooting what it is that you need to shoot. So the way that I kind of look at my content is, okay, what am I shooting? How am I shooting it? And what do I need to think about, or what do I need to avoid? Sorry. I kind of split it up into 4 different categories. So I have business. This is everything inside of your business, in and around it. So, you know, taking photos and videos of daily activities, specials, anything that's unique and interesting about your business that you want your demographic or your clients or prospective clients to know. This is all of that content that caters to them. Now you have trends. These are all the TikTok trends and the dances and all the funny skits. That's all in here. You have studio. This is going to be all of your very clean cut content. It doesn't actually have to be in a studio. We'll go over that in just a second. But the important part of this section is to make sure that the content that you're producing is very clean cut and to the point of what it is that you're trying to showcase. And then the last one is selfies, because who isn't taking selfies? I know we're in 2024. I still take selfies and I'm in my 30s. So I know that if I'm taking them, there's other ladies and gents that are taking the selfies or doing funny boomerangs or whatever it is. Have your cast help you with your content. Next. Sorry. Oh. I was like, oh no. I was like, did I miss them? Oh my God. Okay, so our first example is going to be for business content. For this one, I used Cafe Lola. It's a local business here in Las Vegas. What you can possibly showcase in your business content, like I mentioned earlier, is location, activity, and branding. So your location, what does it look like? What's the decoration like? What are special highlights and features inside of the building? How do you get to the, your venue? The other one is activity. What daily specials do you have? What do your staff and guests do in here? Products and services available, special events, even action shots. Something as simple as someone pouring a coffee into a cup. For you guys, that would be, a hot bartender shaking up her cocktail, maybe her handing over some wands to someone. So very simple, very easy content. It doesn't always have to be this extreme. I have a terrible habit of editing videos even when I don't have to. So this is a little bit more of an extreme example, but just looking, can you replay the video itself on there? Yeah, thank you. So just looking at the video itself, you're seeing the colors inside of the venue. You have pinks and blues. Obviously the service is, it's a cafe. The energy or the vibe in there is going to be relaxed and cute. The special or highlight in there was their English tea. So that's something unique that they do at their cafe that not all cafes do. It's obviously a sit-down venue and it is suitable for all ages. I get all of that information from a video that has no graphics or context on there at all whatsoever. So simple content like this is what you can create for your business. Next.
10 toes in when we standing on business.
Whew. It is hot in here. Come check out the real thing. So, trending content. Trending content. These are our TikTok contents. Everything from skits to dances, basically anything that gets the engagement up when people are scrolling through your content. When you are creating these trends, think about how can you make it relatable to your business or your demographic. You want to make sure that it's enticing so that other people will want to share it. Possibly make it extra catchy, whether it's a catchy tune that you are using, or maybe even you're doing a dance with your cast or team. Same thing with the skits, right? You want to make sure that you have clear audio. So right now we are creating essentially content at this very moment for you guys to have this information. We're making sure that we're creating this in a space that's quiet enough so that you can hear what I am saying. I don't have necessarily a script, but you could say that my presentation itself is my script or my routine, and as well as the audio. So here we are using mics. You don't have to do that for your own content. Most people don't use mics when they are creating these style content, unless they're doing like interviews on the street or anything like that. And so the mic is a little extra. It's the extra equipment that you can bring. It's not a necessity. And then how to make the engagement happen. People want to comment. If you can make it where people actually want to comment, will want to share it with other people. The other really big one is actually going to be remixing and stitching your content. This is going to be a big TikTok thing. Now on January 20th, I don't know if that's going to change because our soon-to-be president wants to change that. That was my terrible impression. Again, don't turn me into a meme. But as I did say, we may or may not have TikTok after that date. Who knows? But until then, have fun. And if you find a video or audio clip that you really like and you want to create something that you can stitch or remix with that, which if for those of you who don't understand what that means, it's taking an existing video that someone else created and you either take that video and remix it, so you add on to or make it your own, or you stitch it, meaning it starts with their video and then you add your portion to it, kind of how I just did here, right? Can you replay that one more time?
10 toes in when
So that's one video. Oh,
10 toes in when we
That's the one
standing
video?
on business.
and this is the second part of the video. So that would be like a remix, right? So things like that
check
where
out
you
the real
can
thing.
use different videos. Now, it would have been better if he posted it on his TikTok account because his TikTok has a lot more following. And then I stitched it from his video on his account. That would give us a lot higher engagement and viewership. I'm sure when you're using your own accounts, it's a little bit harder unless you already have that following and engagement existing. But these are all really funny. All it takes is for someone to see that one video and be like, oh my God, this is hilarious. I got to show Bob, and send it. I'm making Uli laugh, so I'm doing a good job. But from this context alone, you're getting, obviously, there's a hot guy, so that's going to get the attention of some ladies. And then it's an exciting fan. It's funny and entertaining, at least to me and Uli. There is subtle branding in it. If you take a look at that portion right there, it does say King's a Hustler. It's an eye mask. It is something that you can get when you go to King's a Hustler, I think. I don't know if they have anymore, but I make it seem like that is something that I got when I was last there. That's why I'm saying, whew, yeah, come check out the real thing or whatever I say. But that has the branding right there. It's very subtle. It's in the shot, though. You know where that hot guy is. And then if you can see it at the very bottom of that video clip, you see some hashtags down there. So that would be the searchable, the SEO tags, right? Now, personally, for this caption, I would have added more, specifically for Instagram. The hashtags don't do as well as just the caption itself. So think of your caption as the keyword search engine, right? Everything that you put in your caption, those keywords that are in there are what will help or hurt the algorithm. So keep that in mind. The specific hashtags that we have right there are the For You page hashtags, which do fairly well. But again, it can go either way. Taking the time to find the hashtags that would work for your specific venue, location, or business are the extra, sugar on top. Next. All right. And then we have our studio content. So this is all of your crispy clean, very, very directly branded content. The reason why this is separate from the business one is because your business one, it can be leisure, it could be while it's in operation. It doesn't have to be perfect. While your studio content, you want to pick a location where you fully manipulate the background, the essence, the vibe, all of that. So take your venue, for example, right? Your venue is your studio space. If you have a strip club, this, for example, this one was taking place at Hustler Las Vegas. We used one of the private rooms here. I set up my lights. She is in a clearly Hustler shirt. This was actually a collaboration that we did with the Hustler stores. So they were doing their Hustler 50th. So now you know 50. What does the 50 stand for, right? Someone might want to actually go in the caption, figure that out. Now they know that not only is it their 50th anniversary, but we were also doing a giveaway. So this content right here, it is not an actual studio. It is something that you can have inside of your own venue right now. You just make it look the way that you want it to look for that specific style of content. So Brittany was nice enough. She brought glitter. She brought the balloons, you know, she had her Hustler champagne bottles, her logo that said, you know, best in Las Vegas. So we were able to get various clips. These examples that I have that are edited right now, these are obviously the still photos, but these also got used in the content, not just for the strip club, but also for Hustler stores. So now we're actually getting seen on multiple different platforms, multiple accounts, extra eyes on us. Obviously, the next one would be renting a studio. You could do that as well. Let's say that your venue it's going through construction. Deja Vu Showgirls right now is going through that, you know, remodeling right now. So maybe they would need to go to a studio. Hypothetical, doesn't need to happen. But as an example, you know, if your club isn't photo ready and you need to do some photos at the moment, you can always rent a studio. Peerspace is an app that you can find on your phone, and on Peerspace you can find locations that you can rent, and you can actually rent them hourly. If you have more questions about that, we can always go over that a little bit later, but those are things that you want to look into. When renting a studio, you want to make sure that you look at all the details, see what they offer as far as lighting, props, backdrops, even stuff like that. And then also your home. Your home can be a studio. Set up a little section. My entire house is basically a photography studio at this point because I have crap all over the place. But yes, you can pick a little area. Let's say you're making cocktails. You can do those at home. Find a nice bar top, tabletop. Make sure that everything behind you is nice, crispy, and clean. Create your cocktail. And then voila. Now you have some clean cocktail content. Maybe your bartenders were out sick the day that you were scheduled to shoot content, but you need to still make the content. There are ways of making that happen. I won't use the example because I just realized that I didn't fully change that for this specific video. But actually, it kind of still works. I did shoot this during business hours. Everything around it, even though it looks like party, fun, crazy, messy, it's still clean. All of those balloons were strategically placed there. There are a lot of vibrant colors to make it fun and vibrant. We did get both photos and videos out of this specific shoot. And this does actually show part of the venue. This is an actual private room that guests can actually get with one of these beautiful ladies. This is an actual example still. And scratch out window lighting, I used my own. Next. All right, we got selfie content. This one is from Stockton Deja Vu. This is actually a boomerang selfie that someone took that I just was scrolling past, and I was like, oh, look, she's so cute. I'm going to use this as my example. But that's exactly what this is showing. This shot was also during business hours. It's fairly clean behind her. It looks like it's a private room. The vibrant colors here is more on a red tone. She got her video out of this. I can almost guarantee that she probably took about 50 selfies on top of that. I'm just saying personally, that's probably what I would have done. See which one looks better. And then it also showcases your venue. Scratch off the window light. Don't go yet. Scratch off the window lighting, because again, this one was, I'm assuming, the actual lighting inside of the space, which, as you can tell for this one, it works. It gives it more of a like moodier type of vibe, which is great. It definitely gives off that sultry strip club vibe. So these types of content can work really well for your business. The reason why I have this as a section is because between your selfies and collaborating with people, this really can help extend your content, not only as far as like creating additional content that maybe you don't have time to get to, but also if you're cross collabing with them, now your content is being seen not just on her profile, but as well as your business profile, which is why I have both of those on there. Deja Vu Stockton actually does already have a selfie station that they kind of use. I've seen some of the clubs have them as well, essentially creating a space where the ladies are going to want to go up to the mirror and take their selfies, and it has your logos and your branding on it so that effortlessly they can market your business without them having to do any additional steps. Also enticing them to want to create extra selfies and videos for you so that you don't have to do the extra step and you can send all of those over to Uli. But the important part is making sure that we're following through, maybe creating a folder that is easily accessible to all of the ladies for them to just upload all of their content. And then every week you have chunks of content that you can send out to Uli so that, you know, it could be this week's selfie star or whatever. Just ideas. Okay, thanks. All right, now how to shoot. So this one, I kind of broke it down into 3 steps as kind of how I operate when I'm shooting. When I first start, you got to take those test shots. It's not enough to just pull out your phone and be like, yeah, that's good. We're good. All right, let's go. No. You need to take a couple shots. Make sure they look good. All right, once they're looking good, then you can move on, which then goes into the next one, flattering angles. Now, we all have different bodies, different assets, and while we all look beautiful, there are certain angles that are not flattering. I work my butt off in the gym, and even I have those. So it's taking the time, and this goes in with your test shots, it's taking the time to find those flattering angles per subject or per model. You don't want to just, do you want to be my model? Sure. I got a beautiful model right here. Yeah, all right. Okay, I'm gonna take your photo. Am I the shot? Okay, hold on.
Oh yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, I'm taking the photo.
That is not
That-
flattering.
It'll make for funny content, but
Oh
that's
my God, that is horrible.
that right there. The last thing that you want to do is to take a photo of someone and then they go, yeah, I don't want that posted.
Ever.
No, don't ever do that. So it's taking the time. Let's see if you can see. Oh, you can. Okay. It's taking the time. Oh, yes. Oh, okay. So can you still see it? Damn it. All right. I'm trying to do this as an example while also being able to show you, but green screen apparently doesn't like screens at all. Or it's because the green is also in the phone. So it's like, but you guys get the idea. It's making sure that you're starting up, down, side, finding those, you know, is it more of like a profile? Is it more of a dead on? And also making those adjustments. So after you take a couple of shots, take a look. Oh, these look amazing. Okay, let's do a different one. Let's switch up the hand pose. Let's, you know, facial chin down. shoulders back, all of those good little tips. And we could probably do a whole lesson on shooting by itself. I think we need more.
do that.
We need more space though, because fitting ourselves in this box is kind of
Look
tricky.
forward to our TikTok videos.
So thank you. You're amazing. You're supposed to stretch. Oh, just
I'm strapped.
all right, but that's the gist of shooting. A lot of it is just trial and error. Next. Thank you, Adia. Okay, so this one is kind of outside of the shooting, but not quite at the editing side. This is definitely more geared towards the posting side of things. But the reason why I'm putting it within the shooting section is because these are things that you need to think about while you're shooting, not when you're editing, and definitely not when you're sending it off to Uli. When you are creating content, there are two types of content that you are creating because you are a strip club business or a gentleman's club. So for that type of content, you're going to get plenty of naughty content, which is great. We have X, we have Unfiltered. We can put it on our website. Heck, we can even create a Reddit account and post it on there. However, not everything that we post is going to be on those platforms. And it's also not going to be all the time on those platforms. I actually heard feedback from someone I had a meeting with last week who brought up that most of their guests are Facebook people. Now, while we want to post on those platforms, we are extremely targeted on those platforms as far as getting scrutinized for what we post, no matter how covered up we try to make it. Sometimes it is a little difficult. So everything clean is going to be our Meta, Instagram, Facebook. If you have a TikTok, that as well. And everything naughty is going to be X, Unfiltered, and beyond. Okay, so when you're thinking clean, no grabbing of the boobies or the booty or the crotch, none of that. Okay, we don't want any. You could do the Tina Belcher, it could twerk it like this, but you can't twerk it dead on to the camera. And if you are, you probably should wear this giant shawl that covers absolutely everything, because that's our next one. You want to get all the goodies covered up properly. If you see anything that you potentially might think might not be good, just throw it in the naughty category. And that's my next thing too. Just because you are shooting content and you feel like something isn't going to be clean enough for Instagram and Facebook doesn't mean that you can't submit it. It also doesn't mean that you can't edit out the inappropriate stuff. So if you do have questions about that specifically when you're going through your content, feel free to message me, or we can set up a meeting so that we can go over the content that you're working on so you feel a little bit more confident on what goes where. Now, I will say it won't be perfect because I get in trouble all the time for my content, even though I make sure that it's clean as possible. But sometimes you can't help it. We are shooting strip club content. These ladies know how to bust it down. But but sometimes we got to find those very clean cut videos or portions or photos that we can use for the clean side of things. And then, encourage them to go see our naughtier content, whether it's on X or better, in person. I actually like doing the clean content because then you can tell, hey, you want to see more of these beautiful ladies? Come and see them inside. The real version, the live version, not the Christmas tree. I needed the hot stripper right here pose in front of the Christmas tree.
Oh, I heard hot.
Hot, yeah.
Entertainer.
Entertainer. Damn it. All right, I'm fired. Okay, just kidding, guys. But seriously, if you have content, I know Stockton, you guys do a lot of content, especially on the boats. They're all great. I've seen some of the professional content that comes from those boat festivities. And those are great too. I don't know if you guys get your hands on some of those as well. Those would be great to turn in. Obviously, with how rowdy the ladies get there, some of that or most of that probably won't be able to get posted on the clean sites, but they can still be posted on X and Unfiltered. So always keep those in mind. Same thing with whatever you're trying to promote. Reggie, I know you want to do a lot of boat stuff. So maybe even if you can't promote it on Facebook and Instagram, you can have posts on X. You can have something up on your website that says, hey, we're having a full-blown boat soiree or whatever. So just things to think about. Next. All right. Editing your content, the part that makes me pull out my hair. Just kidding. It's a lot easier than you think. I have a little example on that video over there. It's showcasing that you have filters on softwares like CapCut. So the way to break it down is where to edit and what to edit. So on the where to edit, you can actually edit directly on the apps themselves. So Instagram and TikTok offer great editing options directly on there. So when you're going to post your photos and videos, it will walk you through the editing options before you actually get to post. Same thing with, now I know we do a lot of it where we're posting your content on Instagram, so that might cause an issue. If you can't do that, you can always edit on CapCut. CapCut is an editing app that you can find. By the way, all of these apps, Instagram, TikTok, CapCut, Lightroom, all of these are found on your app store in your phone. I believe they are all free. However, you can pay for additional features. I don't think I pay for the CapCut Pro, but I do actually encourage a little bit of it only because it does have specific features like stabilization and enhancement type of things. But there are other apps. I forgot to add a face.
What is stabilization?
Oh, that's a great question. So stabilization, if you're anything like me, when you're shooting, sometimes you get a little shaky. Maybe the Red Bull's really kicking in and you're just like, okay, I'm getting it, but you could tell that the phone's not quite there. The stabilization feature will help take that clip and it'll actually crop it and adjust it to give it a more crisp, clean, smoother effect on the video. So it doesn't look as bumpy and shaky like you're just this video. Now it's more like this video. That's the best that I could show in my example. But yes, same thing with Lightroom. I believe Lightroom is free for the most part. You might have to also pay for that one as well. Most of these are very easy. And the last one is also Facetune, I believe. Facetune. I personally don't use that, but this one's a really easy one. If, let's say, you have some models that came in and they are not makeup and hair ready, the Facetune apps do help with that. I don't like to encourage that because then that means that people will be showing up to all of your shoots without hair and makeup ready. But at least it's something that does help. Or maybe they have blemishes that day that they need to remove, all of that good stuff. So those little enhancement features will help. And again, editing is its own thing. It's its own beast. I could spend hours talking about editing, and maybe we'll do an editing example for one of our other meetings to go a little bit more in depth. We can take some actual videos and photos that you guys have to kind of go over that in a live version. But until then, these are kind of the logistics. We can also set up a meeting if you guys need it even quicker than that. But some things to think about when you're editing: color and exposure are the two biggest and easiest ones to fix. So just going in, you can slap a filter on something. You could do the manual adjustments. Same thing with the exposure. Those are both options that you can have for that. Trimming your clips. So sometimes when you start your selfies, you take your photo or your phone, you set it up, and then you got to press the play, and then you go back, and then that little portion of you pressing and what you want to clip that out. And the way that you do that is by trimming your clip Again, each app will have a different like little logo as to where. Sometimes it says crop, like the one next to it. Sometimes it's trim, but overall, adjusting your clip to fit the frame, which would be your crop, and just using the sections of the videos that you want to use, which is trimming. Those are the other two things that you want to edit. And then audio. Do you want there to be any audio? Like, for example, me speaking right now, or are you adding audio? Perhaps it's a music or audio clip that you saw that you're using for a specific trend. So those are a couple of things that you want to take into consideration when editing your content. Next. Okay, questions time. So before I have you guys fully dive into the questions, I'm going to allow you guys to unmic. And if any of you have a video or photo example that you brought with you today, I would like you to screen share with us and ask the questions that you have in regards to that piece of content. All right, don't all jump at once. Anyone? No examples.
Everybody unmute. This is the fun part.
This is the part where you get to talk back to me.
Exactly. And if you don't have questions, of course, you know I have questions. Love.
I'm gonna need some help this summer from you, Lorraine. To come
Okay.
He just wants to get you on the boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
That could definitely be a thing. Currently, at this specific moment, I need to know, did anyone bring in
Their homework.
their homework? Photos, videos, anything. This is why I made a full presentation.
That's okay. So I'm going to ask some questions because I know you were talking about flattery. So, you know, sometimes us ladies, especially after we've had babies, as beautiful as our ladies are, some of them have the little, you know, the little mommy pooch sometimes. What is a flattering way to have our ladies that have a little bit of that pose so it appears?
I was going to say, is there a way?
I may be asking for my own.
Like, I got to
No.
scoot back because I'm short, even in heels, so you can only see so much of me. Oh, look. Oh,
let me
it
break it
moves.
down.
Oh, perfect.
I
Okay.
look tall. I like this.
Okay. So when it comes to flattering outfits, and I actually love that question because I just got to experience it with Caitlin baby because she's a mom of two, and I would have had no idea based off of that body. I was like, oh my God. But a great way is wearing the underwears. I don't know if you can see them, but the underwears that come up past this section right here. So a lot of the underwears that ladies wear in the clubs are the traditional, I don't know how to say stripper underwear.
Entertainer.
Entertainer underwear. That made sense. It did after she said it. But a lot of the entertainer underwears actually come right below the fupa. I believe that's what the men call it, the fupa. And I mean, even myself, I have this section too. If I don't basically starve myself, it's just always there. So a great option is to find underwears that come up either right below the belly button and have that V taper. So that straight across and below that line right here, it'll cut off your hips. Now, the only people that I will say will look flattering is if you are fully flat but have hips and it's not so tight, because then it actually accentuates how wide your hips are. But you have to be flat because it won't hide anything up here. So using flattering garments that will cover up this section but accentuate the hips. That's why I say the V style. It comes up and it accentuates your hips while hiding this section right here. The next thing that would be outside of the outfit portion is finding the poses that also flatter your body and hides this section. So
I don't want to stand like this because then that's
so if I'm like this
yeah.
and I'm slouching,
Right.
you see this little
Yep.
only because my pants aren't that tight, it's not as bad. But depending on the poses, and I'll actually take this thingy off for now. depending on the poses is what you're going to see. So if I have, and you can't see all of it, but if I have one foot crossed over the other one and I drop the hip, now I have that nice little curvature.
Oh,
If I
okay,
bring the
wait.
arm up, now, yeah, same thing here. And it's all about where the camera is also shaping. So I have this
Oh, look,
hourglass.
I got an hourglass.
Yeah, and then same thing with right there. So depending, you see if I move here and here, it's gonna show different in here. Same thing with seated poses. I don't know if she can get it
Yep, she can do it.
low. Now for me, is that it? For me, I'm really, really short. I am 4'11". My torso is not that big. So when I sit down, I have to make sure that I'm extending one.
Oh, I'm not moving it. No, it's doing that automatic. I
Oh,
don't know how to
Come see.
stop them.
It's trying to find you.
try by you. There it goes.
Okay. All right. So for me, I don't have a lot of torso space. So seated poses are probably my absolute worst. And there's only specific ones that I can do. So making sure I'm sitting up straight to elongate my torso. So I'm not like this, because this ain't flattering to anyone. This looks like I don't want to work here. This is what this is giving. Same thing with making sure that the hips look nice and wide. If you push the hips back a little bit more and lean forward a little bit more, still allows you to be nice and flat in the front. And you can see more. I'm wearing really dark pants, so right now it's probably not showing them off as well. And the camera is also not bent down a little bit.
Don't mess up our studio, Lorraine.
Use it one time, breaks it. But these are things to consider. The standing up straight, shoulders back are one of the biggest things that I remind models, because the slouch will instantly give off a completely different feel. If I'm like this versus totally different vibes. Now I'm boss babe. Now Jason asked me to come back in. Not the same vibe. You don't want to give off that vibe. Same thing with your toesies, right? Pointed versus like the shriveled up toes that you see in some of the photos, right? You want to make sure. So every little piece of your body that's in the frame of what you're shooting, you have to pay attention to that, and you want to make sure that you're taking all of those into consideration so that your model or your subject looks as flattering as possible.
Okay, I got another question. If I have a little booty, how do I make it bigger? And if I got a big booty, how do I make it small? If I want to.
I was like, you want to make your booty small?
No, I'm quite happy with my booty, but
I was like, I work out a lot just to get a little booty.
yeah, same. But I'm just saying, if I didn't have one, like, how can I make it look bigger? And if it's too big, how do I make it look smaller?
So for accentuating the assets, it's always creating essentially a bend in your body. So for booties, if you can bend and push back, now that creates more. You can't see it, but there's more of a booty back there. I swear it is. It's back there. It's back there. Okay, same thing. Like if you're on, for example, you're on the bed, right? This is my bed right here. I'm doing this pose. If I bring this leg up, now the booty is bootylicious right here. So it's just picking those poses. And a lot of times when I'm shooting the ladies, I actually let them go into their natural flow. They're dancers. They know how to move. They know what they look like in here when they're dancing, and they know how to feel sexy when they're doing that. So you want to take that and complement it towards your content creation. So have them do their movements so that when you are looking through your actual camera or your phone and you see that spot, that pose that looks the most flattering, stop. Hold that. Okay. Hold it. Shoot your photo, your video, then go off to the next one.
Okay, last question in case unless anyone else has one. So I'm in the club or my venue, and the party is going on. Like, what is the quickest way I can just kind of show and put something together and send to Uli?
Okay, so I would normally, because you can't get model releases from everyone, unless you're Reggie, who all of his guests like to be in the content. With your phone, there's a couple of different options, and I'm hoping you can here. Maybe if I cover myself, no, you can't see shit. Okay. So with your phones, when you turn on or you open up your camera phone, you have your photos and you have your videos, right? If we're showcasing the environment in a video, you can do a 0.5 lens, meaning it's super wide, which will distort a little bit of the faces, so you don't have to worry about model releases for people, and just do a quick pan. So holding it and panning it around to show that energy that's in the club. Same thing with the photos. You turn it into the 0.5, get this shot. I would snap a couple of them, because what you can do with that is taking those couple of different, let's say you take 3 really good ones, you can actually stack them on top of each other. Now it's a vertical post with 3 different like energy photos in it. Or you could do it in carousel as well. So those are a couple different options.
Does CapCut have like templates that I can use?
They do. Yes, they have. CapCut is very, very easy to work with. They have trending ideas on there. They have templates that you can use for both photo, video, or mixes. They're great for recaps. Let's say that you guys have done a lot. You didn't get a professional yearly recap this year, but you still wanted to showcase what you've done this entire 2024. Go on CapCut, type in 2024 recap in their search engine, and it'll give you a bunch of different recap templates for you to use, so you can have a recap for this year for your business.
Alrighty. So unless anyone has some questions, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna have the
Wait, go to the next one. They have homework.
Oh, that's right.
Especially since no one did anything. Like you missed it. So for homework, I want you guys to do 3 things for me. I need you guys to come up with a content strategy. Come up with a day that you guys are planning on shooting, a day that you're planning on editing, and pick 3 edited content, whether it's photos, videos, both, and send them off to Uli. Actually, include me and Adia on that email as well, because we need to make sure you did your homework, because I don't know that Uli will remember who is which one. So type in homework and then include us 3 on there, because I do want to see that you guys are practicing on this. If I'm doing my part and taking the time out of essentially content creation to help you guys create your own at home, I would appreciate it if you guys created a little something for me.
Yeah, it'll just help you get better, right? Because at the end of the day, we've got to have social media. We got to show that there's a party going on. There's something interesting. There's something fun in our venue. We want to create that FOMO, right?
Yes.
I know I probably sound old saying it, but
no,
trying to
but
be like the young kids.
but that's exactly what it is. As much as I love the content that I create, and as much as businesses really do need the professional grade content, the customers also really appreciate the guests really appreciate that they have personable content as well, which is all the phone content. If you take a look on Instagram and you go into your Reels tab, which is usually the center one on the profile, you can actually see the viewership count on all of your videos, and you can take a look. Yes, my professional grade videos do very well. They're usually in the thousands, but some of these selfie videos that are very, very simple, they don't take a lot of effort. A lot of those get just as much viewership and likes, and maybe even more sometimes, because they really do appreciate feeling that connection with you, your cast. Sorry, I was going to say crew, but I was like, that's not the right one. No, you and your cast, the venue, they want to feel that it's a real place with real people that they can have a real experience with. So taking the time to create this content, I'm starting you off with 3 pieces of content. It could just be all photos. It could be all videos, completely up to what you are comfortable with. And while you're doing this, write down questions that you have or had while you were dealing with creating the content. Maybe you had more questions, brainstorming, or more when you're editing. So that way next time we meet all again, we can discuss that. Or maybe you realize, hey, I need a full-blown one-on-one with Lorraine so she can really break it down while I'm doing the content creation. That's also a possibility. I don't mind teaching people.
Yes, we would love to get Lorraine out to your venue to help you do more content. So thank you so much, Lorraine.
Yay, thank
Tammy, Scotty, do you have anything you'd like to share?
No, I was just I popped up a photo and sent it over myself via WhatsApp from one that I took recently. If Lorraine wanted to take a look at it and all that via the phone or via the meeting in front of everyone.
Okay.
Ooh.
We got WhatsApp video.
So
No, Lorraine, he's asking you to take a look at your WhatsApp. Did you send it
well,
to you? Sent it,
no, I didn't send it to her WhatsApp. I have it here and I can broadcast it to where
Oh, okay, cool.
you guys can see it. Give me one
Yeah, so
second.
we have to stop
Go ahead and
share.
Yeah.
Share now. Which window was it? There we go. Go ahead and share that.
It's the Oscar light. That's basically telling us
We're done.
wrap it up. Yeah. Oh, that's cute.
So adorable.
Oh, Uli, how about you come in here? Can you tell us, is this Uli approved? And which section this would go on? Come on, Uli, for those of you that don't know, haven't seen the queen behind our content on social media. Hi.
Yeah, so in the photo,
Yes.
the entertainer in back wasn't wearing a top, so I made sure that the entertainer in front of her had her elbow blocking her top because she didn't want to go put on a top, and I also had her put on a jacket as well, and then kind of made that there was some coverage going on. And since it was Christmas themed, I wanted to make sure that we had a Christmas tree in the back and everything like that. Everyone's looking happy, and we're showing off some product as far as the card and stuff like that.
I love it.
Is that Uli approved?
Yep.
So that means that can go on all social media, right?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Now, Scotty, what you could do is you could have had the lady with the VIP who isn't, if she's comfortable, right? She could have popped out and not been, and we could have put that on the X or unfiltered, on the unfiltered page.
Oh, I have a photo like that, but I know this is going on YouTube. So
That is correct. Good job. Good job, Scotty. Good job, Scotty.
I refrained and made sure that I found a photo that was YouTube and Meta appropriate.
Nice job.
Appreciate that.
So that's why I picked that photo, because I don't want us to
Get in trouble.
get a takedown notice or get a strike against our account.
No, I love it. Now, for X and for unfiltered, could he have done like a boomerang, right? So if I was trying to cover Uli, like a boomerang like that,
That'd be cute.
Yeah.
right? So that's another way to get some like cute content, right?
I do appreciate Scotty's thought process behind creating this content,
Yeah.
right? Like he understood, okay, can't show the boobs, got to cover her up. And he found a very creative way of doing that. She still doesn't have a top on, but just the jacket and that VIP card with the elbow. That's all you need.
And it's super cute.
And that looks very personable, fun, cute. The only thing that I maybe would have added to this is adding a front light to give them a little bit more. No, I didn't.
Oh, just thumbs down me.
No, I needed the thumbs up. I don't know why I did that.
She tried to shake it away, like move.
The only thing that I would have added is to have a little bit of a light to give them a little bit more of a crispier focus in the face. But I also really appreciate the club lighting in there. So either way, it works.
Super
But
cute.
I love it. I think it's adorable. I also really like your unfiltered idea.
Boomerang.
Yep.
So good job. Yeah, someone got homework. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I
I
love
just figured I would, I had a photo that I could, send to myself and put it up there to where, like an example, to where you guys could critique if you wanted to or whatever.
No, this was fun. Yes. And I'm so glad you did it because I think this is a great real world example of what happens, because at the end of the day, we don't want you to feel like it's intimidating to create content. I mean, this is simple, but he still thought about it.
Yeah.
It's the Christmas theme. We have to make sure she's covered, but there's so many options that, yes, this one is great for Facebook and your Instagram, but if we go down, then it's cool for X too. So you've now created 2 pieces of content that can go to all of the social media and you can reach everybody, so, and if it's just, so the still photo could be one post and then the boomerang photo could be another post. So, in getting this content, you've got multiple posts as well. And maybe for Instagram, I don't know, she could have clapped or something. So then you won't see anything, but then there's still some motion in there too. And that would have been Facebook and Instagram appropriate. So great job. And I hope this kind of gives you guys some examples of how you can create content, but create additional content within the same content. Right? Yeah.
Yay.
Any others? Any questions? Feedback?
I swear we don't bite.
I do.
I've got a quick question.
Go ahead, Nick.
Great presentation, by the way, Lorraine. What's a good way to get IPEs or entertainers excited about participating in content?
Great question. You should have the mic back.
Well, unfortunately, I can't bat my eyelashes at everyone because it usually only works with the guys. But enticing your cast members and IPEs to participate in the content is offering something that's mutually beneficial to both parties. So the venues need content, perhaps the IPEs need content. The beautiful entertainer that we just had here in town, even though she's not local and even though she was a feature, she was more than delighted to shoot with me on top of shooting additional content the next day, which those came out so cute.
Okay.
I
I also have a way. If Tammy, are you still there? Because Tammy also has a way that she helps incentivize IPEs. Tammy, are you there still? Okay, so I will just talk for Tammy. Maybe she can hop in if she's still there. But one of the things she does is she creates a reason to get content, meaning if you are the top performer, she makes a big deal out of it. You get your poster on her wall, you get all types of things. So if you make it a contest with your IPEs and you include, like, you'll get this content in the social media, that's another way to incentivize. So I thought that was a cool way.
like that.
And Tampa should be giving us some tips soon because they had like 20 IPEs. They had like a record number of IPEs this weekend. So I'm sure they're going to find ways and they're going to share with us the next time. Right, Darlene, Daryl? And I think Fiona's on here too.
Hi.
Hi, Fiona.
Hello. We just brought on a really great, I would just say promotional person who has been going out handing out passes, but also taking awesome content, not just of us above the bar as well. So you will definitely see some moving pictures and gifts and things like that from us soon.
Sweet.
Any other questions?
Or anybody else have ways that they can they have incentivized IPEs to participate in their content? Reggie, the boat. Not everybody can get a boat, but Reggie, what else do you do to help incentivize your IPEs and get them excited about creating content?
If the showgirls, like, you could give usually we have a good team with our showgirls, so they want to take content all the time. And they want to get posted. But if say they don't, if a showgirl, you could do a different kind of split. If they're going above and beyond and taking, you could give them a 60-40
Allocation split.
allocation.
Be like a house fee.
There's no
Yeah.
such thing as that.
Oh,
I like
We're gonna
Tammy's
edit that
idea.
out.
okay. Sorry.
I like
But
Tammy's idea because Tammy's idea was, we can make posters. That was a great idea. I caught that one where, we start making their posters or putting them up for the nice content. So they like always they like being shown at the club. So that could be also as well. So I like
Oh, I just thought of another one because Reggie, I think you kind of hinted on it a little bit. Yes, he's got a lot of IPEs that participate, but there's some IPEs out there, showgirls out there who don't, for privacy reasons, don't want their face out there. And so you can also take very flattering photos without
Cover your face.
showing identifying features, right? Because we know that things are sexy. Men find different people find
Assets.
different assets sexy.
Yeah.
Whether it's a shoulder or a little leg, like you don't have to show everything to do sexy. So another way to incentivize them is to also show them that they can not show everything.
Participate without displaying their actual faces in it. And I know a lot of entertainers also have tattoos with photos. You can always edit out tattoos. Now, if they have a gigantic, massive back piece like I do, that's probably not going to work. However,
They have something like me.
yeah, that'll be easy. However, just because they have a back piece doesn't mean they can't participate in content. I have 2 stars that could easily be covered up on the front. So my whole front side is still usable and available for content. So if I was one of those entertainers, me as the creator would let them know, hey, no worries. We can't get rid of all of your tattoos on the back. However, you have beautiful figure front facing. We can maybe use certain sections of that in the content and make sure that we're still avoiding the face and any recognizable markings. So that's usually the other way. If I have a lot of hesitant IPEs or cast members that want to participate but are very hesitant for those reasons, you can always get creative. And when you are using those specific sections, throw in some branded stuff in there. Maybe they're wearing a shirt where you can't see the back of that, but you just see a little bit of, the top of the booty, but it has your whole Deja Vu, the finest on the back there. Maybe it's also Diamond's booty back there. I don't know. Booty on booty. So there's different ways of doing it as well, for sure.
So Reggie, you promised them the boat allocations, and what was your other thing? I'm sorry.
if they don't the Tammy idea and then the allocation.
Like having their posters
yeah.
or being on the walls, which are
Showgirl, yeah.
which is a good thing. The feature that I just shot, she was excited because now she's going to have new content to be able to print out, because she signs those when she does her performances. She has, her photo signings in between her shows, and now she has new content coming in that she can have printed for her to sign at her shows.
And then the last one, what about cast? How do we get the cast involved in our social media? Anyone?
Cast members,
Yeah.
they're employees. They're cast. So
Yes, but there are casts who still have the same privacy issues. So how do you incentivize your cast or get them excited about participating in your social media? Because you also don't want a cast member who's excited in the club and then you ask them to do social media and they're like,
I think that so like I think like I'll research our people first, like who's usually when we onboard our cast members or our showgirls, you will ask for the social medias, and then I'll do my little research if they are models already or they're not, or they're just doing family friendly pictures or videos, and they only have personal IGs. So then we try to suggest to make Deja Vu ones just for that one.
okay.
For their own personal, for the club one. So they'll make their own. A lot of them have now. So, but I just letting them believe in the culture and letting them believe in where they work at, and I'm sure that they will all follow. But you'll have some of those women or guys that won't buy it, but usually getting them involved in everything and making them feel a part of it, then they'll, if they believe it, they'll go on it.
I love it. Reggie touched on it, the pride, right? Yeah, you got to remind them that this is an opportunity of a lifetime. I mean, so few people get to throw a party every day. So it's something to be prideful. What we stand for, our mission statement, all of those things are something to be proud about. So yes, we want all of our cast to participate in our social media, get excited about our social media so we can get our guests excited even before they come in and experience the best factor, right?
Just 1 second.
Sure.
Well, I
Lorraine, I remember you were talking about photos where you're not showing off. One thing that I did was I had an entertainer who just recently purchased shoes in a boutique. So to get double content, she didn't want her face in there. So what I did was I took a photo of her wearing the shoes on the stage to where she wasn't physically in there, but it's a sexy photo to where, you know, there's the shoes, and then also the boutique was able to use that content as well.
look at that.
Yay.
Look at Scotty.
That is one of the, that's probably one of my favorite. When I went to Lansing, I don't think it was last year, but the year before, we did some cross collab content with the boutique, and it was with entertainers that also did not want their faces in it. So it was literally like neck down. They were seated in various poses, but the content that we were shooting as far as the boutique side, it was whips and handcuffs and stuff, which is really easy. You just now take from here to about here. Now this is its own thing. You know, if you want to do it here, yeah, something like that.
So we got to show off the new shoes, and she got to do a photo shoot despite the fact that she didn't want to have her face in there. So it's a nondescript,
Yep.
just something that we could show off.
Ooh, and Scotty, so again, just to kind of add to this content and add to how we can do it with the boutique, is it would have been cool also to maybe capture her trying on the boots and going from, you know, trying them on to on the stage. So kind of like that before and after.
Yep. The other one too is this is a photo. You can easily, especially with the phone, you can easily, you know, toggle between photos and videos. So you got the photo, it same thing how you were saying, it have her walk, just do one full circle around the stage. Now you have essentially like a GIF or a mini clip of just the shoes that are walking around the stage. If she does one of those where and you won't be able to see my feet, but like when she's walking around the stage, she does like one like spin in front of the pole where like the little heel comes up. So now you can make it a little cutesy, still all about, you know, same like that, knee down. You don't have to use her face. It's just the shoes. It's just the movement. But now you, yep. And now you have photo and a video to go with it.
Yeah, a lot of times I will do short videos and then I'll just scrub through, find the frame that I like the best and turn it into a photo.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yay. Reggie, you had your hand raised?
Yeah. Is Nick still on this call?
He is.
I'm here.
Nick has the best photo. I always repost him all the time on his IG if you guys want to look at that. Nick? Oh, he has the best photo ever.
Those,
And I always repost him. We should put him on the website.
it's an old photo. It's a really old photo, Reggie.
But it's nice.
Thank you.
All right, so we're a little over time, so I want to go ahead and, you know, as usual,
Sorry.
respect everyone's time. Thank you guys so much for joining us and staying with us. And if you have any questions, she is Lorraine at gobestbiz.com. And of course, you guys know Uli also at gobestbiz.com. So these are our social media geniuses. So reach out to them, talk to them. They're going to be setting up meetings with you guys in the new year as well. So we're very, very excited about your social media content. So do your homework. We want to see your homework. All right. Remember, email all three of us so that we can showcase you and maybe even convince Nick to put you on the next monthly newsletter. All right. Thank you guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.